across multiple modes. Good morning, FGC. We're back from E3 the week after E3. How'd it go? How'd you like it? As FGC fans, we really didn't get too much of nothing, you know? There was a little bit of hope when Capcom had their own event. And if you're not a Monster Hunter fan, you probably didn't get much out of that. If you are a Monster Hunter fan, you probably didn't get much out of that. I mean, but if you like the stories, go ahead. You know, I'm not here to crap on what people like. You know what I'm saying? But as a fighting game fan, it was pretty lackluster to say the least. All we got was, this is it. This is the game, Party Animals. This is the big fighting game reveal that we were all waiting for. Not underwhelming at all. It's a physics game, kinda-esque. It actually, all joking aside, it looks kind of fun. It looks like a little party game and everything like that, but definitely not what we were expecting. We were hoping for something from MK11. We were hoping for something, maybe a teaser, maybe some oral stuff from Capcom, maybe even something from SNK, even though we know that they're gotten delayed. Maybe they had something else to show. They didn't even put out a trailer that week. I don't blame them, but this is it. Party Animals. This is what fighting game fans get for this year's E3. So Party Animals is a physics-based multiplayer game where you face off against your friends as one of several fuzzy fighters. These are some of the fuzzy fighters. A duck on an airplane and yeah. So one of these fuzzy fighters you pick up and you brawl across multiple modes, maps using a variety of hilarious, over-the-top weapons. Grab a plunger or a lollipop and get ready to party like an animal. All right, so all kidding aside, right? I didn't expect much this E3 either. So we already got our E3 early with the release of Guilty Gear Strive. That's what everybody's kind of playing right now. But it would have been nice to get something, you know? I think 2021 is going to be a much better year. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a separate video on all the different games that are coming out in 2021. Of course, you know KOF. We're going to see something from Street Fighter. Maybe Tekken will have this thing. We got to talk about our next story, the Street Fighter Tekken crossover, which shelved, I guess is the best way to put it. We'll talk about that. But there's going to be a lot to look forward to in 2022. So we just got to wait. It's not like everybody has a next-gen console anyway. Maybe Microsoft could buy somebody to make Killer Instinct. Who knows? But not much of an E3, at least for fighting game fans, right? Let me know what you thought. Did I miss something? Was there a big announcement that got swept under the rug? Put it in the comments. Today I wake up expecting to find some good fighting game news, and what do I see? Tekken producer confirms Harada that Tekken X Street Fighter is dead. Say it ain't so. Of course, we know Street Fighter X Tekken came out, about 10 years ago. Had the crystals and everything. Didn't quite work well, but I was like, man, please do not let this be true. You can see right here in a Twitter feed, if they show it, I'm not sure. I'm on Polygon right now. Harada basically said in a tweet that the game had died. The game died in development, but that's not quite true. You know, I was hoping that it wasn't true, and it wasn't, and it kind of made my day, but then it didn't. So if we head over to Event Hubs, we see that that good old translator, you know, the Japanese to English translator didn't work as well as it should have. So Tekken X Street Fighter is not canceled, confirmed Katsuro Harada. After the Tekken X Street Fighter not canceled, says Harada. Says that the subtitles in the video said that the project had died, but he didn't say that. The project is basically shelved. So we can go into the actual tweet right here when he says, "Goddamn subtitle problem. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that the game was canceled." He goes in to say that the game was actually shelved. About 30% into the actual game's development, they ran into some problems and put it on the shelf. Of course, they don't own the rights to the art that was made on the game. so they couldn't continue the project, but they hope to continue in the future if Capcom still wants to do stuff or whatever the case is. So the game isn't shelved, but it's basically in Final Fantasy a 7 remake mode right now. The game is over 10 years old. They stopped working on it probably about 8 years ago. They said they were about 30% done with the game when they started. So even though the game wasn't canceled, for all effective reasoning, the game is pretty much canceled. I mean, I don't want to say that because I definitely want to see Tekken's put on a crossover Tekken X Street Fighter. I mean, if Akuma is any inkling of what we could have got, or maybe Akuma is what the game actually was before it got canceled. I mean, we don't really know right now. All we know is that as far as Harada is saying right now, the game was shelved, put on the shelf, 30% complete, and they can't use any of the stuff that's actually done. Well, they could buy it. If they wanted to continue it, they say that Capcom would have to put some money into it. So would Bandai Namco. I mean, they could do it. I mean, Capcom's doing better than it's ever done, and Harada just sold what, 8 million, 11 million, something like that of Tekken 7, and still putting out these more characters and more characters and more characters. I mean, it really hurts a little bit, man. I mean, you think that, okay, Tekken 8's probably on the way, or some kind of Tekken tag. We know that Street Fighter 6 is coming, and you just had this little bit of hope that maybe all these years, Bandai Namco has been working, tinkering away at a new game engine for Tekken X Street Fighter, but it's not to be. If you're expecting this game to be out in the next console generation, for that matter, especially if that drops from the drawing board again, it's going to take at least 3 years. So the earliest a Tekken X Street Fighter game could be announced is at least 3 years from now. Yeah, so nothing but bad news over here in the gamers in the FGC as far as new games go. But I hope you're enjoying Guilty Gear Strive. We're playing that. We're thinking about having some kind of tournaments. I know they just had a tournament over at the arena if you're in the Daytona Beach area, and we're gonna be working with back with Blue Dragon and do some tournaments over there. So a lot of things coming. See you guys tomorrow. We're back on now since E3 is over with. Until next time, be good, be safe, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. We are Swatty Mob Gaming. Good morning, FGC. We out. Peace.